Hello there, this is Ron with Ron's Real Estate Essentials, and today's episode is for my bougie buyers out there. Are you looking to buy in a new development? I'm so annoying. So buying in a new development has a lot of intricacies that you don't normally encounter if you're buying in an existing condo, and especially in a co-op. There's hidden fees, hidden taxes, longer timelines, but there's also a bunch of negotiating tactics that you can take that you wouldn't be able to in other properties. So what can you negotiate? Well, first off, you can negotiate the transfer tax, which would typically be covered by the seller, but in a new development is often covered by the buyer. Plus, chances are if you're buying in a new development, your price point is going to be north of $1 million. And in New York City, there's a mansion tax to boot. When buying in a new development, these two taxes are often passed on to the buyer. But in the right market, these are great negotiating tactics and could be a huge cost saver for you. And while you're at it, get those monthlies covered, honey, because often in a new development, the amenities are the last thing completed. So even though you're moved into the building and closed, the building isn't necessarily completely finished, and those amenities aren't available for use. So why should you be paying for them? It seems reasonable to ask them to pay for those monthlies until the building is finished. A little bit harder of a sell, but definitely possible, is asking them to pay for the real estate taxes for a determined amount of time, sometimes 6 months, maybe even up to 2 years. Hey, they might go for it, and every little bit counts. Another closing cost that comes with new developments is the seller's legal costs. Those get passed on to the buyer in this situation. But it's always a negotiating tactic, and hey, they might be willing to pay. It's almost like $3,000 in legal fees, and that could be money in your pocket. And of course, the most obvious thing to negotiate is the sales price. And in this market, sponsors just want to get rid of inventory to show that sales in the building are up. So they're a little bit more willing to negotiate the price as long as they're gonna make a little bit of money. You know, they're not always that greedy. So remember, if you're buying in a new development, you can negotiate the transfer taxes, that mansion tax, the seller's attorney fees, and of course, the price. And sometimes you can even mix in some of those monthly costs.